What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're doing Survive Brazil for the first time ever, I believe, since we're coming up to the real life Grand Prix. I thought I'd jump around this circuit and see if 20 online noobs, myself included, if we can survive the Brazilian Grand Prix circuit. So the rules for this series: we turn off all the assists, we turn up the damage to full simulation mode, so it is super easy to lose your wheels and just be completely out of the race. And with lag, with inexperienced drivers going, hell for leather into turn one, it often results in some pretty crazy first corners. So we're starting off here in pretty much last place in the Salva. I also made it intermediate conditions as well, because we know how famous the Interlagos circuit is for changeable conditions. So here we go, 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix in the Survive series. And away we go. We're going to go really cautious here off the line, because we know that everyone is going to be everywhere off this start. You can just see there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars already out of this Grand Prix. We're down to 13 runners already, and we're just having to go left and right, just having to avoid them like an obstacle course just to survive before we even got to the first corner. It was absolutely mad. Honestly, it feels like the limousine scene in the 2012 movie, where the guy is just avoiding everything in the world and it's just all falling apart around him. That's me right now. Do you see what I mean? It was so crazy. I'm also really lucky as well. About half those cars that were in front of me actually ghosted, because we would have been trapped, on the start-finish straight for a very long time trying to avoid those guys. I probably would have conceded a little bit of damage myself. I'm really surprised that I didn't actually, because I actually rubbed up against the inside wall of the barrier, the outside wall, sorry. And with simulation damage, it is really easy to lose at least a little bit of your front wing. So we've got off pretty luckily here as we come to the end of the first lap here. We're going up the inside of, I think that was a Mercedes, and now we're up into 4th place. So already, wow, that Mercedes has gone off for a bit of an adventure through the infield. But yeah, we're down to 9 runners, so we've lost 11 people already on this opening lap. We're going to go around the outside of this Haas driver, and that is us onto the podium after starting in, I think it was like 18th place, but we conceded a lot of time, like in the first 20 seconds of this Grand Prix, just trying to avoid everyone. We could have gone a bit faster and maybe had a better chance of going for the race win, but that's not the goal of the series. It is in the title, survive, and that's what we're going to do. Up the inside of the Toro Rosso, who looks like he's desynced. He had a red cross up against his name, so that is an easy position for us. And now we're into 2nd place in this Brazilian Grand Prix. The leader is 6.7 seconds up the road. I think he was an even bigger margin than that, so I think he has made a little bit of a mistake on this lap. So you can see he sets a 1 minute 26.2. We go purple with a 121.7. So yeah, we made up a whole heap load of time, like literally just on that one lap alone. So this guy, TOR Leopard, is going to be under considerable pressure for the next 3 laps to the finish of this Grand Prix. I think he's a pretty decent driver as well. I did like an open lobby today, just doing lots of races, and this just happened to be one of them. And Leopard was a pretty decent driver, so it's going to be a bit of a ding-dong battle here to see who can come away with a victory here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. As well, it's worth mentioning, we're going with strict corner-cutting rules as well, so it's quite easy to either track extend or cut a corner. And so if penalties come into it, especially for Leopard, then he could potentially lose this race win if we finish within 3 seconds and don't get a penalty ourselves. But as you can see here, we're just building our pace. We're getting more and more accustomed to the conditions. It is very slippery, I'm not going to lie, and I am pushing on really hard here to try and close that gap. And by doing so, I'm probably mistreating the rear tyres a little bit, losing the back end quite considerably. It's it's a real delicate balance we're having to keep right now, trying to balance going fast, but also not like having a massive lockup and going completely off the track and losing 5 seconds. So yeah, we're doing everything we can within the threshold of the amount of grip we have in the tyres right now to chase him down. Still going purple every lap, and now as we cross onto the final lap, we're going to stay on board for this entire one, and I'm kind of going to walk you through a hot lap here of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Not a good run through the fast center S's there. I just ran wide at the final part there in 4th gear, just trying to minimize the wheel spin. I think this won't be a purple sector, the first time we haven't had one in a little while, but going into turn 4, 4th gear, try and have a late apex if you can, get on the power as early as you can. If this was in any kind of other scenario, I probably would be running in like lean revs through a lot of these slower corners to minimize the wheel spin. That's something that a lot of the elite players do. It's something that you can use to your advantage, but since we're very pressed for time and trying to catch this guy, I'm running with standard revs and just kind of dealing with the wheel spin and the back end sliding out a little bit more than usual. So it's not going to be as easy on the tyres. But Leopard, you can see there, getting tangled up with one of the Haas drivers who ran wide. He ran wide himself, so he lost like, I don't know, at least a second there. But yeah, he's going to be under considerable pressure as we head into the final corner now. Purple to the second sector, up by almost 2/10, and we're going to chuck it up into rich revs. Now is going to be the time, as if like he has a penalty, or if he runs out of fuel, he's going to completely throw away the race win right here. As we come across the line, it is going to be second place, but do we get promoted to the win? No, we do not. Good job, TOR Leopard. He actually did a really good job actually trying to hold on there in the final 4 laps of that Grand Prix. You could see I was a lot faster than him, chasing him down. That was like considerable pressure that he had to deal with. But in the end there, he didn't crack. Comes away with the race win and actually doesn't get any penalties either. So great job to him there. We have all survived. I think in the end there was 6 people who finished the race. So a massive attrition rate in this Grand Prix. This is probably right up there with like Baku and Monaco for the least amount of finishes we've had in one of these Survive Series episodes. But guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and see plenty more F1 2017 content. Should we do one for the final race in Abu Dhabi? Let me know, and we could get that sorted. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. If there's any other tracks as well you want me to see try on this Survive Series, then be sure to let me know. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.